He would always think I'm doing something with his girlfriends, and they would come over, and
Was he on your doorstep during this incident?
he was not. No, no.
Your Honor, may I have a brief recess, 5 minutes or less?
For what purpose?
I need to check in with another witness. Are we back on the record, Judge?
Yes.
We were hiding in my shower. Mr. Nuñez was beating at the door.
Did you talk to anybody on that break?
Yes.
Who?
Miss Norris.
What happened during this recess?
I have little doubt the defendant, Senor Nuñez, is a hot-tempered wannabe thug. But that's not the real story here. The real story here isn't even the fact that the complaining witness was cowering in his self-built stonemason's shower. It's okay to be a pussy when an angry man is beating on your front door and you think he's packing. It's called self-preservation. But at least be a man about it in court. No, the real story here is that his admission to hiding in his shower came immediately following that break the prosecutor sheepishly asked for. That's a little sus, and you'll see why she's reaching and why she thought she had to reach out. Let's roll notes.
This is in the District Court of Butler County, Kansas, case entitled State of Kansas versus Eduardo Rafael Nuñez. Chris Pate appears as defense counsel. Mr. Nuñez, the defendant, appears at the Butler County Detention Center's Zoom location. Amber Norris appears for the state of Kansas. This matter comes before the court at this time for evidentiary preliminary hearing. I trust your client still requesting such a hearing, Mr. Pate?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Norris made an offer yesterday afternoon. I communicated that to my client this morning in the breakout room, and he wishes to proceed still, and we're prepared.
State may call the first witness.
Your Honor, state calls Sheldon Herman.
Sheldon Herman, raise your right hand, please. You do solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give?
Yes.
You may question the witness, Ms. Norris.
Mr. Herman, what city do you live in?
Rose Hill.
On May 3rd of 2025, did you live in Rose Hill?
Yes.
Did you end up having contact with law enforcement on that day?
Yes.
And can you explain to the court where you had contact and why?
It was at the duplex that me and Mr. Nuñez were living at. And
why did you end up having contact with law enforcement that day?
Well, prior to that, he did some stuff to one of my friends, which I think is Brandy McGathy. I see her on there.
And who did? You said he. Who's he?
Mr. Nuñez, and it happened.
Your Honor, I didn't notice who all is in here. If she's a witness, I would ask any other witnesses be sequestered.
The court will grant the request. Anybody who's subpoenaed as a witness, if we can go ahead and put those in a waiting room. All right, you may continue, Ms. Norris.
Mr. Herman, you were just saying that Mr. Nuñez had done something.
Yes, to Miss McGathy, Brandy McGathy.
Okay. And was that on this? That's
no,
on this May 3rd date?
No, ma'am. It was about a week and a half, 2 weeks maybe prior to that.
Objection, relevant. Nothing's charged from 2 weeks before.
Your Honor, if we could have a little bit of leeway here.
All right. Very well, Ms. Norris, please show relevance.
Mr. Herman,
Yes.
what does that have to do with what happened on May 3rd?
That was the first incident as far as the female went, of him hitting the female, which
Objection, relevance.
Objection overruled. You may continue, Ms. Norris.
Okay, Mr. Herman, continue with what you're saying. That was the first incident.
Yeah, that was the first incident, and then the second incident was that day that he was arrested, which
May 3rd.
Yes, ma'am. And another female had gotten physically abused, and she came to my door, and that's when it all started. She can't, because we lived right next to each other.
Okay, and so what female came to your door on May 3rd?
I think her name is Mallory. I don't even remember her name. I don't even know the girl's name.
Okay, and where did she come from?
It was just one of his girlfriends or something.
Okay, so she had been staying in the duplex.
Yeah. What was her name? Lana was her name. I don't know her last name, but
okay. Alana?
Yes. And she showed up at my door knocking, and she said that I know, Sheldon, I'm not supposed to be here, blah, blah, blah. And obviously they had been in a fight. So I let her in. And then, I don't know, it just escalated from there. And I felt my life was, I don't know, I just felt I didn't feel safe at the moment. And and then the cops showed up, and that's how it went down. I called my mother, and my mother called the police.
Okay. So when Alana came over to your place, where was Mr. Nuñez?
I believe he was in his, yeah, he was gone at that. Yeah, he was gone at that point. And then he came home because he seen it on camera. He had a camera in his duplex, and I don't know, he rushed home immediately.
Okay.
Am I hearing other people in that room?
Do you have someone in that room, Mr. Herman?
Just a witness.
Oh, a witness? Who's the witness?
It'd be my mother.
Well, she's not to be in the room. I want to ask her to leave, and you can't take direction from any other person, Mr. Herman. You're the one testifying.
Right. Okay. I'm just sorry. This lady was I'm looking at her, and
Well, she needs to.
Yeah, Your Honor, there's also one of our staff that has gone into that room as well.
that's what it was. I was talking to her. Yeah.
Okay. Well, staff members can't do anything to assist you, Mr. Herman. Let's proceed, Ms. Norris.
Okay. So, Mr. Herman, what time of day was this when basically Alana came over to your place?
It would have been early morning, and then Mr. Nuñez showed up at whatever time he was arrested. I don't remember.
So, did Alana stay at your place, or did she go elsewhere?
Well, she ran away at first, and then she showed back up, and she called one of her friends and came and picked her up.
Okay. When did you have contact with Mr. Nuñez on this day?
When he came home, to because of the situation.
Okay.
He's seen her off a camera, out of the duplex, and that's when it all started.
And how long had you lived next door to Mr. Nuñez?
Like a year, maybe. Yeah, almost a year.
Okay. And do you see the person that you have been referring to as your neighbor on the screen?
Yeah.
And
yes.
Describe what he's wearing and the basically kind of the box that he's in.
Brown jumpsuit. Says Butler County Detention right behind.
Okay. Your Honor, I would ask that the record reflect that he has identified the defendant, Eduardo Nuñez.
The record so reflects.
The defendant comes home. What happens next?
The defendant comes home, and we kind of get into it. Not physically, because I just got off a broken hip. Really, I got out of there, and the police were called. As soon as I seen him, the police showed up.
Okay, what do you mean you got into it?
Verbally, because he would always think I'm doing something with his girlfriends. I don't know if you understand what I mean by that. But because my duplex was right next to his, and they would come over and hang out or whatever, and he'd be at work, and they would get off a camera, off of out of his duplex, and it's like he'd rush right home and thinking I'm doing something with the girls or something. You know what I mean?
Okay. So, what was said when he got back to the duplex?
There really wasn't F-U, and then the cops showed up.
Okay. Well, did you go back into your side of the duplex?
No, I left. I went to my mother's house.
And So you didn't report any damage or,
My mother, she reported all the damage and everything. Yeah.
okay. And who was with you, if anyone?
No, I was by myself.
So, Miss McGathy or Miss Alana weren't with you when
No,
defendant came back?
No, ma'am. Alana didn't show up. She ran away because Mr. Nuñez was coming home or something. And she ran, and then she showed back up at my duplex at like an hour later and called me. And I called a guy named Ricardo to come pick her up.
Okay. So did you speak to police?
Yeah, numerous times. Yeah. Told them the
And-
situation, and they just told me to go to my mom's house and let everything cool down, and they'll get back with me.
Okay. So were you there when Mr. Nuñez was arrested?
Yes.
Okay. And before he was arrested, was he at your door?
No, he was driving home. He was driving home at when all this was happening, and then he showed up, and the police showed up.
So at no point in time was he on your doorstep during this incident?
He was not. No. As soon as he showed up, and got out of his truck, he was arrested.
Okay. Your Honor, may I have a brief recess, just maybe 5 minutes or less?
For what purpose?
I need to check in with another witness to make sure that they're here.
The court will allow it.
Thank you.
Recess briefly. All right. Ms. Norris, any announcements or?
No, Judge, I think we're ready to go back where we were at. And
Okay. Well, we're getting behind here, so let's move quickly.
Yes, you are.
okay. Are we back on the record, Judge?
Yes, we are.
Mr. Herman, on May 3rd, you had contact with law enforcement there at your duplex. I think we covered that. That's correct?
Yes.
Okay. And do you recall who called for law enforcement?
I think it was Miss McGathy and my mother.
Okay. And was Miss McGathy with you?
Yes. Yeah, she was right beside me. Yes.
Okay. And where were you both located?
We were hiding in my shower.
Okay. So in the duplex at
Yes.
okay. And you said your mother also called. Who's your mother, and was she there?
No, she was not there. Tammy Herman is her name, but she was not there. I think I told Brandy to call my mom, and she needs to get over there right now,
Okay, so your mother, you called for your mom to come to the duplex?
Yes, and I believe she called the police on the way, or we're like 3 minutes away from each other, so in Rose Hill there.
Okay. And what was happening while Miss McGathy and you were inside the duplex?
Mr. Nuñez was beating at the door, mad, obviously, wanting to come in and do whatever. I don't know. Luckily, the cops got there just in time.
And what if anything was he saying?
He was it was mostly Spanish, but F you cabron, I really don't know. He was mad, but it was all I think it was mad Spanish.
And at this point, are you concerned for your safety?
I'm concerned for my mother's safety. Yes. Yeah.
Even though your mother wasn't there, your safety and Miss McGathy's safety.
Yeah, Miss McGathy, I believe that she's in a treatment center, out of state. So I think she's okay and doing good. My mom seems to be the only one that's not scared of this man. My personally, yes, I am. I know what he can do. I know who he knows. I've already my mother's received calls, or not calls, but text messages.
Objection, not non-responsive, lack of
The
foundation.
objection is sustained. Ms. Norris, can we just focus on the elements of the felony offenses?
And Your Honor, Your Honor, I was asking him if he was scared at the time, although apparently I didn't make that clear enough to Mr. Herman.
Yes, I was.
Okay.
Yes.
And you were scared at the time because of why?
Mr. Nuñez beating at the door. Yeah. I mean, he was obviously mad.
And that was based on the tone of voice?
The beat, the loud knocks, the beating, and the prior, incidents leading up to this point.
Okay.
Prior incidents, I should say.
And had you had any prior issues with Mr. Nuñez? I mean, incident like this?
No, I had not. But females, that were my friends, they have had, but me and personally, no. I kind of kept my mouth shut, and that's what I did.
Okay. And what did it sound like, if you could, when he was beating on the door, like he was using his fist or an object?
Fist.
Was there damage to your door?
No, the door had a little bit of, I was fixing up the duplex anyways, but no, I don't believe so. No.
There weren't marks in the paint?
Objection asked and answered. Ms. Norris, she's not getting the answers she's wanting, so she's just asking the same question.
There was a few.
Objection sustained. New question, Ms. Norris?
On this May 3rd, 2025 date, was there damage to the duplex, and probably specifically your side of the duplex?
Just maybe the door, just from knocking, but like I said, the cops showed up as soon as he was getting ready to, you know what I mean? Before he entered my duplex, the cops showed up.
Okay. And could you see what he was doing when all this was going on, or no?
No, I was hiding in my bathroom, ma'am.
Okay. And that bathroom doesn't have a window that looks out onto your porch, or?
No, ma'am. I'm a brick mason. It's an all stone shower.
Okay.
I felt safe in there for some reason.
Thank you, Mr. Herman. I don't think I have any further questions for you this time, but Mr. Pate may have some follow-up, okay?
Okay.
Pate?
Mr. Herman, you recall today you started testifying.
Yeah.
And then we took about a 10-minute break, and then you testified some more, correct?
Yes.
Did you talk to anybody on that break?
Yes.
Who?
Miss Norris.
Ms. Norris talked to you on a recess?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, that's completely inappropriate. Mr. Herman was giving one version of testimony. We take a recess and we come back, and it's a complete 180. It is inappropriate to take a recess to talk to a witness that's on the stand.
Well, I'm inclined to agree if that's what happened, Mr. Pate. Ms. Norris, what happened during this recess? I had the impression you were talking to a different person during the break.
Your Honor, I talked to my staff. I confirmed where another witness was and that they were ready to testify. And I did talk to Mr. Herman as well.
So you coached him?
No, I did not. I asked him if what he was telling me was what he told law enforcement, or what he was saying in there was what he told law enforcement. And he basically said no, because he had some concerns.
Well, his testimony took a different turn after the break, and in fact was quite inconsistent with what he had related earlier.
Your Honor, the only conversation I had with him was that I just needed him to tell the truth about what happened that day.
Yes.
Whatever that might be.
All right. So, Mr. Pate, do you have questions for this witness or not?
Well, I do, Your Honor, but anything that was elicited after the mid-testimony break ought to be stricken from the record and not considered.
I know your concern. You may proceed, Mr. Pate.
Thank you, Your Honor. So without belaboring the point, Mr. Herman, you acknowledge your testimony before the break was significantly different than your testimony after the break.
Significantly scared, sir.
Just answer the question. Was it different or not?
Yes, it was.
Okay, thank you. Let's talk about this duplex. Okay, and this is just your standard duplex with two sides that are separated by a wall.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You live on the side, correct?
Yes, I own the duplex.
Okay. Mr. Nuñez lives on the side, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And in fact, weren't you and Mr. Nuñez attempting to buy this duplex together?
I'd already I already purchased it.
Okay. Was it your intent for him to be a part owner of this duplex?
At one time, yeah, at one time, but I was going to see how it went and kind of like a trial period. I'm glad I did it.
Okay. Was he making payments on this duplex?
He was making rent. He paid rent to me. Yeah.
All right. Were you making a mortgage payment?
Yes, sir.
To who?
Here in Augusta. I don't know the name of the company. I mean,
to a bank.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, I'm having difficulty seeing any relevance at all to this line of questioning.
Well, Your Honor, I'd ask for a little leeway given what's gone on here already.
Very little leeway.
Okay.
Mr. Pate, we need to focus on whether there's a showing of probable cause that these felony crimes have been committed and Mr. Nuñez committed them, and these questions aren't in any way related. So let's move on to a different line of questioning.
Yes, Your Honor. Did Mr. Nuñez ever live on the side with you?
Yeah, he did for a couple of weeks while I was getting inside done.
Okay.
Ready for him to live in.
And in fact, he still had a key to the inside where you lived, correct?
Yeah, he had a key to my mom's house and everything. Yes, sir.
He had a key to the inside?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Was there a keypad on the doors to this home?
Yes. Yeah. He didn't have a key. He had the code.
Okay. So he had access to the house.
Yeah. Like I was saying, I had a broken hip at the time. And
okay. Can you just answer the question? He had access, and that was with your permission.
Yes.
Okay. And he used the shower on the inside to bathe, correct?
Yes. Temporarily, yes. While his shower's getting done, yes.
Okay. So he had regular in and out access to the three side.
Yes.
Okay. After the break, you were talking about being in the tub and you were hearing Mr. Nuñez yelling, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And I believe your testimony was that it was a lot of loud cussing in Spanish, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So and I assume you don't speak Spanish.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I learned from him a little bit.
Okay. But other than F you grown, did you really understand anything he was saying?
Not a dang word. No.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor.
All right. Any reason why Mr. Herman can't be released at this time, Ms. Norris?
Your Honor, just one or maybe two follow-up questions.
Very well.
Mr. Herman,
Yes.
On May 3rd, did the defendant have permission to come into your house?
No, ma'am.
And had he had permission to come into your house the day before?
The day before, yeah, I'm sure he did. Yes.
Okay, so why didn't he have permission on May 3rd?
Because of the phone calls prior to the situation.
And explain that.
He just making threats on the phone, like.
He was making threats to you before this incident happened?
On the phone, yeah, on the way when he was coming to the duplex.
Okay.
Yeah,
And what kind of threats was he making?
I'm gonna kick your ass, cabron, this and that, and like I said, it was mostly Spanish. There was a reason why I was hiding in the shower.
Okay, and so at this point, you had, in these conversations, basically revoked his ability to come into the.
I had like a chain lock on the door, other than the keypad, and I locked that, and Yeah.
Okay. So before he ever even got to from wherever he was,
There was verbally,
threats.
yes.
Thank you, Mr. Herman. I don't think I have anything further.
All right. Thank you very much.
Mr. Pate, anything further along those lines?
Your earlier testimony, Mr. Herman, was Mr. Nuñez had free run to go in and out of there to shower and bathe and things like that, correct?
Yeah.
So he didn't call you every time he wanted to come bathe, did he?
No, he was also my best friend. So no, he did not.
Okay. And you were talking about talking on the phone. Isn't it a fact that you were actually coming outside or coming out from Mr. Nuñez's side of the duplex when he pulled up in his truck?
No, I was hiding in my shower.
Very well. Nothing further.
All right.
Me and Brandy. Yeah.
And Mr. Herman be released at this time?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ricky.
All right, you can stay with the meeting if you want to, but you're going to have to mute your location. All right. Next witness, Ms. Norris.
Your Honor, state calls Brandy McGathy. I believe she's in the waiting room. Miss McGathy?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All right, if you'd raise your right hand, please, the court will administer an oath.
Yes, I do.
May question the witness, Ms. Norris.
Miss McGathy, please state your name for the record.
Brandy Lynn McGathy.
And Miss McGathy, did you have contact with law enforcement on May 3rd of this year?
Yes, ma'am. Well, he had, Sheldon Herman had heard some noise of some sort coming that alarmed him, coming from the duplex that Eduardo lived in. And he, I don't know what happened at that point, but I know I went over there to make sure everything was okay. And I seen Eduardo pull up, and Sheldon told me to take off running. He used to go in the house and call 911, and that's what we did.
Did you call 911?
Yeah.
And why did you call 911?
Well, because there was an incident prior to this, and not just because of that, but because the way he pulled up in the driveway, Eduardo, the way he pulled up in the driveway and stuff, he started screaming.
Oh, okay, so how did he pull into the driveway?
Well, he didn't even pull in the driveway. He pulled on the side of the road, but the car was parked. The truck was parked at an angle, and I just already know him to be an aggressive type, and that's why I called.
Okay, and was he saying anything at this point?
What are you motherfuckers doing? And and then when I went into the house, he started banging on the door hard and said that he was gonna. He said, "I'm gonna finish you guys off when I get to you." And that's all I heard. And then I heard the sound of commotion and people talking.
And so at that point, was law enforcement there?
Yeah, I believe so, because Sheldon said they were there.
Okay, and where were you inside when this is happening? Could you see anything outside?
No, ma'am. No, and I was in a bedroom.
And at this point, were you fearful for your safety at this point?
Yes.
And the person that you know as Eduardo Nuñez, do you see that person on the screen today?
Yes, I do.
Can you just explain what he's wearing and maybe the background?
He is wearing the tan colored clothes and the background of the burgundy door.
Okay. Your Honor, we would ask that the witnesses identify the defendant, that the record reflect the same.
Once again, so reflects.
Ms. McGathy, did you talk to law enforcement that day?
Yes, I did.
Had you known Mr. Nuñez before this incident?
Yeah, a little bit.
And he lived
Yes.
in the duplex?
Yeah, as far as I know, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know for sure, but I believe so.
But you know him well enough to identify him and recognize him?
Yes.
And did you call 911?
Yes, I did.
And were there any weapons involved in this incident?
I don't know. I didn't see any weapons.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. McGathy. I don't think I have any further questions, but Mr. Pate may have some follow-up, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Pate?
Ms. McGathy, Today, prior to testifying, did you talk to anyone about your testimony?
No.
Okay. Nobody with county attorney's office or anything like that?
Oh, I called this morning to ask what was going on, if we still were having a Zoom meeting.
Okay. Are you a resident of Creek?
I'm sorry?
Do you live at?
No, I don't.
Okay. You're just friends with Sheldon and visit there.
Right.
Okay. So if I understand your testimony correct, you're saying that you and Sheldon were outside when Mr. Nuñez pulled up, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. What were you guys doing?
Well, he had heard a noise coming from the house, and the door was cracked. And so he had looked in and he had pulled up right at that moment. I had just walked outside at that moment and to see what was going on.
Okay. So Sheldon had gone inside the creek right before Mr. Nuñez pulled up.
Oh, that part, I mean, I don't know. He peeked his head in, yeah, because the door was cracked and he had heard something coming from out of the house.
Okay. So at the very least, he was at the door of Mr. Nuñez's side when he pulled up.
Yeah.
Okay. And then after that, you said it was, you guys both went inside of the side, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. And he was banging on the door.
Yeah.
Okay.
So hard there was a dent in the door.
Okay. I don't believe I have any further questions.
Okay.
Ms. Norris, anything further for this witness?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Any reason why Ms. McGathy can't be released?
No, Your Honor.
Your Honor, just briefly, Sergeant Jordan Watson.
So help you God?
I do.
Very well. You may question the witness, Ms. Norris.
Please state your name and occupation for the record.
I'm Jordan Watson. I'm a sergeant for the Rose Hill Police Department. I was informed a male was attempting to enter a residence with a gun.
Okay. And when you arrived at, what did you find?
I observed a white Chevy Silverado exiting the driveway, and I stopped the truck as it was leaving from that residence, and I wanted to keep all parties on scene.
The individual that was driving the truck, who was that?
That was Eduardo Nuñez.
Okay. Did he identify himself to you, or?
So I stopped the vehicle. He got out of the vehicle. I asked if he was Eduardo, and he said yes.
Okay. Were you the only officer there?
No, Officer Hobson came in directly after me. And since the call was with a firearm, I held lethal cover, and Officer Hobson took Mr. Nuñez into custody.
Okay. Did you find any kind of gun?
I did.
And where was it located?
It was inside the creek, just inside the door on a small table. It was a pellet gun.
Okay. Does it look like a regular firearm?
It does.
Okay. Did you end up arresting Mr. Nuñez?
Yes, I did.
For what? Why did you arrest Mr. Nuñez?
I'm going to reference my report. It's a few pages, so let me find.
Sure.
So as I was speaking to Officer Hobson, he advised me that Eduardo was pounding on the door, attempting to get into the creek. This is according to Sheldon and Brandy, and made the claim, when I get in there, you're all done. And there was evidence of the door being hit with a rock. Yes, so those were the charges.
Okay.
The charges were with the threat, criminal threat, attempted ag burglary, as well as criminal damage to property.
Thank you, Sergeant Watson. I don't think I have anything further, but Mr. Pate may have some follow-up, okay?
Mr. Pate?
Officer Watson, I'm reviewing your report, and in that you said that after you arrived at the scene, you followed Sheldon Herman through the garage into, correct? Yeah. Okay, and that's Mr. Nuñez's side of the duplex, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then you walked in and you said you saw the pellet gun on the table, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then you also say you later realized that you entered Eduardo's residence without permission, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so you didn't have his permission to go in there. You didn't have a warrant.
Correct.
So likely, I mean, you believe it was probably an illegal search, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Mr. Nuñez did not have any type of weapons on him, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And there were at least some reports or mentions of hearing gunshots in the area, correct?
Yes.
Okay. But a pellet gun of the type that you found would not have made the gunshot noises that were reported, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. No further questions.
All right. Ms. Norris, anything further for this witness?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
So anything further from the state by way of evidence, Ms. Norris?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Any evidence to be submitted by the defense at this hearing, Mr. Pate?
Not at this hearing, Your Honor.
All right. Any closing remarks from you, Ms. Norris?
Rebuttal only, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Pate?
Your Honor, we would ask the court not bind Mr. Nuñez over for trial. The evidence here, Mr. Nuñez had blanket permission to be in and out of the residence on the inside. He was at one point a resident. He had the key. He had the key code. There's no evidence that any permission to enter the residence on this day was directly revoked. That was never communicated to him by Mr. Herman. There's no evidence that he did anything other than bang on the door. So I don't think there is any type of overt act that would amount to attempting to commit an aggravated burglary. I also don't think there's any evidence that he was prevented or intercepted in executing. The evidence is he was in his truck driving away when police showed up. So there wasn't anybody that came up and scared him away from the door or anything of that nature. It doesn't sound like he was told, get out of here, we're calling the police. He just quit banging on the door and left. As to the criminal threat, I think Mr. Herman indicated it was a lot of cussing in Spanish. Ms. McGathy's testimony was, see what I had in my notes here. Finish you off. I don't know if that in and of itself amounts to a criminal threat. Count 3 is a misdemeanor. I'm also very concerned about the mid-testimony meeting between Mr. Herman and Ms. Norris and the abrupt change in testimony, and would ask the court to consider that as well in making its ruling.
Very well, Mr. Pate. Any response, Ms. Norris?
Your Honor, I would just note that Mr. Herman actually said that on this date, based on the threats and the fact that he locked it, that he basically had revoked Mr. Nuñez's permission to enter. And he's banging on the door with a rock, which law enforcement confirmed. There's dents in the door, which Ms. McGathy, I think, in law enforcement confirmed. Ms. McGathy heard the threat. They know that he normally has a firearm, or at least has previously been seen with the firearm. They call 911. He's making threats towards them, whether it be on the phone prior to or while he's actually banging on the door. This falls into the basically trying to commit another felony for the aggravated burglary. He doesn't actually get in, and maybe, who knows why he left. Maybe he heard the sirens, because he doesn't even get out of the driveway, and law enforcement is upon him and getting him out of the truck and arresting him. So you could suppose that the reason he left was because he heard the sirens, because they were that close. Your Honor, we do believe that state has met the burden of probable cause for counts 1 and 2. We would ask that the court bind the defendant over at this time.
Very well. First of all, regarding count 1, the charge of attempted aggravated burglary, a level 6 person felony, the state's charging document would seem to suggest that the evidence might reflect that he tried to enter with the intent to commit a theft, a domestic battery, a violation of a protection order, or a sexually motivated crime. There's no evidence of any of those. However, the final element that the state is charged is that he tried to enter with the intent to commit a felony. But before the court addresses the threat in this case and any expectation of violence that the occupants might have had, the court will note that the burglary statute requires the state to show probable cause that Mr. Nuñez attempted to enter without authority. And it is on this point that the state's claim fails, even at the probable cause level. The court essentially perceived the evidence in the same manner than Mr. Pate did. And that is, Mr. Nuñez had clear authority to enter these premises and had blanket authority to enter these premises until this day. And if Mr. Herman wanted to somehow revoke that general authority of Mr. Nuñez to enter, this must be clearly communicated and reflected by the evidence. That hasn't been done here. Therefore, the part of the state's claim that he tried to enter without authority fails in this case. This court declines to bind over on count 1, attempted aggravated burglary, the level 6 person felony charge. That charge is dismissed. Regarding count 2, the felony charge of criminal threat, the court does find that whether the evidence reflects that his statement communicated to the persons inside was that he was going to kick their ass, or that I'm going to finish you guys off, or as the state charges, and apparently the officer testified, when I get in there, you're all done. Clearly, this was intended to communicate fear and did so in this case. The state's evidence does show probable cause that the felony crime of criminal threat has been committed and that the defendant, Eduardo Nuñez, committed it. Defendant is bound over for trial on count 2. Obviously, there is an existing criminal damage to property claim, a misdemeanor, also in this case. Court will, at this time, make a ruling regarding bond in this case. As the court has now dismissed the presumptive prison crime in this case, this court is inclined to modify bond at this point to a lesser amount as the run risk is decreased. This court will lower bond. I think it's currently set at $10,000 cash or surety. The court will lower bond to $3,000 cash or professional surety required. Mr. Nuñez, do you have somewhere to live other than Rose Hill if you make this bond?
Yes, Your Honor.
I don't want you back in Rose Hill. If you need to get some things, you need to perhaps use friend or family to get those things out of there.
Your Honor, my house has been all taken. My duplex was all taken.
Okay.
Everything's gone. Everything I own is gone.
Okay, who took it, Mr. Nuñez?
When my family went to get my stuff, it was already gone.
Okay.
Your Honor, he was evicted and the duplex, I believe, has been sold.
All right, well, somebody has an obligation to provide for his personal property, but that's a separate civil matter, not involved here. Mr. Nuñez, my concern is you don't enter the city limits of Rose Hill at any time as a condition of this lower bond, okay?
Yes, sir.
And no contact with the alleged victims in this case, which
Yes,
I'm
sir.
sure you already understand is in place.
And Your Honor, could we request that he have GPS as a condition of bond?
You can request it. The court's going to deny that request. You're subject to arrest if you just enter the city limits of Rose Hill, Mr. Nuñez.
Your
And I
Honor.
hope there aren't any other violations.
Okay, yes, I understand.
Okay. Does your client desire the charging document to be read to him at this arraignment, Mr. Pate?
No, Your Honor, we waive formal reading, enter a plea of not guilty.
Court will accept the pleas of not guilty. We'll establish a jury trial date in December, starting Wednesday, December 10. We'll set a pretrial conference the week before. Pate, I'm contemplating 10 o'clock a.m. on Tuesday, December the 2nd.
That'll work.
Nuñez, I'm presupposing you're going to make this lower bond. You need to be either in Mr. Pate's office or at the Butler County Judicial Center. In other words, the courthouse. You need to appear from that location for the Zoom pretrial, 10 o'clock on Tuesday, December 2nd. If your jury trial goes the following week, it starts Wednesday, December the 10th. And obviously, that would be an in-person proceeding at the Butler County Judicial Center.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else at this time, Mr. Pate?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Norris?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right. Mr. Nuñez, if you get out on this bond, there just can't be any trouble, okay?
Yes, sir.
Just go on about your business outside of the city limits of Rose Hill.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Pardon me, Your Honor.
Yes,
Well, what time would the jury trial start on the 10th?
9:00 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
If there's nothing further, then the Nuñez matter will currently be in recess, and this particular meeting may be ended for all.